Welcome to our channel, Million Dollars Made Easy. On this channel, we develop spreadsheets to help people. Who do we want to help? Number one, we want to help the young adult who's first starting out, showing him how he can reach $1 million if he has the time and I just want to show him the number. So we create spreadsheets for the young adult. We also create them for the middle-aged person who's just trying to do some catch-up investing to show where they might be, how much they might be able to save, and what they might end up with when they reach retirement. Number three, we help the retiree who wants to know how much he can safely withdraw and have his money last. In other words, folks, I've developed this channel to help most everyone. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone who loves numbers and wants to help people see the awesome power of compounding. I want you to be prepared to be amazed. Folks, I'm not a professional speaker. I stumble over my words, but I do hope you can benefit from seeing these different spreadsheets. And that's what I want to show you, the spreadsheets, some of the ones that we can develop to help you with your financial planning. I just love to help people. Years ago, I actually wrote a book, How to Make Sure Your Money Lasts in Retirement. It's at Amazon if you're interested. But these are the kind of questions I like to help answer on this channel, and this one specifically with retirees. It says approximately 80 million baby boomers are approaching or have entered retirement. Most have some type of retirement savings that can often be quite substantial. This seemingly huge sum of money often leads to one rather daunting question: how do I make this money last? This in turn leads to several other questions. How much can I safely withdraw a month? If I withdraw that much, how long will my nest egg last? How will I know if I'm taking out too much? So I went ahead and wrote this book, and I included a whole bunch of tables in the book that you can. By the way, this book's at on Amazon.com. Uh, this is my original spreadsheet. You're going to see the ones I'm going to show you in this on this channel are a lot more sophisticated. I just wrote a book showing people how long their money might last, what they would have after certain periods of time, and I simply put it on Amazon.com, and I hoped it would help people. Well, let me begin by showing you some of the things we do on this channel, the spreadsheets that we create that can really help you in your financial planning. This is a spreadsheet. This shows you how much, just by prepaying a little bit more on your mortgage, how much you can save in interest. These are just some of the things we do. This is a seven graph showing you the different returns that compound interest can do for you, showing if you can reach that first $100,000 and just keep putting it in there. Look at what your money can do for you down the road. Let your money do the work. You don't have to put near as much in if you can just get it in there and let the compounding effect work. These are the actual numbers behind that. This is a thing that really struck me. When I saw the median account balance for Vanguard, somebody 65 and older only had $87,000. Folks, that's hard to see, especially as we show you these spreadsheets, how easy it is to have a lot more than that, how you can actually get to $1 million if you have the time. Again, that's why I called the channel Million Dollars Made Easy. Some of the other things we point out the difference between what compound annual growth rate compared to average rate and how you need to know the difference, because everybody talks about getting average returns. Folks, nobody gets an average return in the stock market because the market goes up and down. You got to look at the compound annual growth rate to see what the numbers really are. What else do? We show somebody, say, for example, they could have start putting $100 a month in, say they're 15 years old and have 50 years to work, $100 a month. What would the market do? We show you all these different numbers to show you in the worst case scenario over a 50-year period in the S&P 500, which is what we use, you'd have over $1 million saved up. We show the effect of inflation, what the buying power of these numbers. But these are the kind of spreadsheets that we develop. What else do? Let's keep going through here. We show you how important it is to consider dividends, reinvesting your dividends. We look at somebody that's close to retirement and maybe wants to know where they might be if they retire in 5 to 10 years. We have all kinds of different scenarios. This is somebody that's got 5 years or 5 to 10 years from retirement, already has a lump sum, see where they might be. What else do? I'm just going through all these spreadsheets. We do this for each of these time periods, 15 to 25 years, 25 to 30 and 5 and so on. We show you the graphs. This is what's impressive, these graphs. The longer you're in it, look at the 45-year graph. Look at this, folks. Let me click on 45-year. This shows you how it goes up. Oh, it can be a bumpy road getting there, but look what you can end up with. What else do? Some other ones here. Again, this is a sobering fact right here. The average American retiree in 2023 had $170,000. And we talk about that. We talk about some of the financial discussions that are going on. But look at this. Only a small fraction of retirees, around 8 to 10%, have successfully saved $1 million. You look at this channel, you're going to see how easy it is to save that kind of money and much more. We do these kind of spreadsheets where we run you all the way through, depending on what your age is, how much you already have saved, how much you can save. We run the worst case scenario once you reach retirement. I know these numbers are all over the ballpark here, but this is some of the stuff we do just to show people. We look at Social Security, how important it is to look at your Social Security statement and realize whatever they promise you at age 67 is going to grow. It's not going to stay the same. This 2267 is going to grow. Your age 40 over the next 25 years, it's going to grow to this kind of amount if you have certain COLAs. But we also help people understand that this is showing you the full retirement amount. You don't get that if you take it early. You only get 70% of the amount. But we cover all kinds of these things like Social Security. We basically just use the S&P 500 returns for the last 100 years. We look at, there's going to be down years, there's going to be up years, and we do all kinds of planning around these numbers, figuring it's not going to be any worse or any better than what's happened over the last 100 years. We also show you the importance of when you start putting the money in and when you start taking it out, because inevitably there's going to be down years. So this right here, down markets are inevitable. When they come, they can drastically affect your nest egg. But these are two important principles that we cover here. It's best if the down markets are at the beginning of your accumulation stage. Of course, nobody has any control over that. But man, if you start out with some down years, and you're just starting out your investing career, that is an excellent time to get in. Nobody knows when these down years are going to happen. This is the worst case scenario, by the way, these returns right here. But this is when you want to put more and more money in, buy them when they're cheap. Because if you're going to be in it for the long run, you're going to catch the good decades along with the down years. And so this is a principle that you need to understand. In the down markets, at the beginning of your investment career, buy them. Put a whole bunch of money in. Don't say, man, the market's going down, I don't want to get in. That's the very time you need to be getting in. But the reverse of that is true. Once you reach retirement age and you've got your nest egg, that's when you hopefully have the nest egg, the down years being at the uh, end of towards the end of your retirement, not at the beginning. They call this sequence of returns risk. Just show you quickly here. If you had returns like 1929 going forward, had $1 million and was taking out 3.5 thousand a month, 3,500, which would be a 4.2% withdrawal rate, you'd be out of money in 16 years. But look at what we if I just reverse the numbers, and these came later on in your retirement. You had some good years. Look at how this is a summary box, by the way. 1929 numbers, you're out of money in 16 years. You only have 36,000 left after 15 years. You can see it right there. Watch what happens if I just reverse these returns. Get it to work here. Reverse it. You'd have 4.985 million after 20 years and 2.605. Yeah, those bad years came, but if they come towards the end of your retirement, later on in your retirement, not near as painful as if they come at the beginning and you're out of money in 16 years. These are the kind of things we do running numbers for people. This is the kind of graph I ran just to show you, given these numbers, where you'd be. And we look at graphs showing that, man, except for 1929, you'd be in great shape withdrawing that 4.2%. What else do we do? Just showing you some of these graphs. We show you inflation, how the buying power, every year it gets less and less. In fact, since 1988, the dollar's lost 60.9% of its buying power. This is the kind of stuff we do. We show the Fidelity numbers, what they recommend, saving 10 times your salary by the time you reach 67. Let's see what else we do here. Look at Dave Ramsey's doing the 8% withdrawal rate, how that can fail you so quickly. We look at 35-year average. Again, if you're only in the market for 10 years, you could end up with an average return of only 0.67. The farther you go out here, in fact, folks, this red is the worst case scenario in the last 100 years. The average return, I know we talked about the average return, you don't go by that, but just for comparison's sake, look at this. If you're going to be in it 30 years, the worst case scenario, you'd have a 10.75% average. But we point all this out in other videos. We show how people often use the Monte Carlo, and this is kind of frustrating to me because I don't really see the numbers behind this. I like to see the actual numbers. We talk about compounding, how that can affect. We show you the graphs of what can happen when you have uh, uh, different returns at different percentages. We This is an interesting one too. How would you like to accumulate a sum equal to every dollar you ever earned? How many years it would take you to do it, and what percentage, and what? This is all kinds of stuff we show on this channel. Let me just show you. See if there's anything else here I want to point out. This was interesting. The 20-year annualized return by class. The average investor uh, in this study averaged 3.6%. Why? Because they got in and out of the market. What were they doing? They were looking when the market was starting to go down, they'd panic and get out. Well, if they just stayed with the S&P 500 over this 20-year period, it would have averaged 9.5%. But we bring out all kinds of stuff like this just to show you what this channel can do for you. We create spreadsheets. Basically, we just use, let me go back here just real quick. Basically, we just want to show people in the accumulation stage what you might have if you can be in it for the long term. And I just run numbers for people. If you just give me your beginning balance, your monthly contribution, if you want to increase that, and we'll run it. And it's best if you have at least 25 years. It's really neat when you have 35 or 40 years. If I can catch somebody when they're young, let me just show you this real quick. Just $150 a month, increasing that by 3% a year, going down through here. Look at the kind of numbers you could have after 40 years. Worst case scenario in the last 100 years, you have almost $1 million. That's what we do on this channel. Run numbers for people, both in the accumulation stage, and then once we get to the withdrawal stage, as I showed you previously, we just run numbers for that, and just to show people where they might be, depending on how much they withdraw. And we like to show the importance of staying close to the 4.2% withdrawal rate. That's what we do on this channel. We just want to create spreadsheets. Like, we've created dozens of them just to help people. Please let people know about this channel. Please let them know I run numbers for them using these different spreadsheets. And I keep pointing out different principles of the importance of starting young, and then the importance of the withdrawal stage, keeping to the 4.2% rule. We take into account Social Security. We run all kinds of different numbers. But please consider subscribing to this channel. Let people know about this channel. Let them know there's a channel out there that will run numbers for them, and not just show you some kind of graphs necessarily, but actually show you the numbers and how they come about. And again, we use the actual historical returns. We figure it's not going to be any better or any worse in all probability of what's going to happen in the future. So thanks so much for watching.